Alright guys, this is my newest acquisition. It's 2006 Z4 M Roadster. So, I have my Z3 M still, and I'll never get rid of it. But I wanted to try something different, and I found a pretty good deal on it. How good is the deal? We shall see. Alright, so I got this thing in the lift now, so it's going to be easier for us to look at it. So if you look under the hood, obviously we have the mighty S54 here. And it looks pretty clean. I don't know what type of residue this is. Maybe somebody tried to clean this and then gave up midway. I removed the filter already and it's due for replacement. Um, Otherwise, there's nothing to note here in the engine bay. What I do like about this car is that there's so much room to work, and, and I love it, honestly. So if you look around the back, obviously can't see much, but that's where I found the oil leak, and it's seeping a little bit from the valve cover gasket. I didn't think I'd have to do that job, but I'm gonna go ahead and tackle that because I was gonna check the Vanos bolts anyway, as there's no record of them being done. Um, let's see what else. This car needs some cosmetic love because it was tapped here on the passenger side. You could see this ugly gap here, and the bumper is hanging a little bit. So we're gonna remove it and see if we can refit it. Otherwise, the rest of the gaps look pretty good. The wheels on this car are completely trashed, and I'm gonna have them refinished. So the rotors look okay. There is a slight lip forming. I'm gonna measure them just to be sure, to see if they're within spec, because these things are pretty costly to replace. The brakes work great right now, so I don't think there's an imminent issue, but I might need to get them replaced. Next thing is this little rubber piece on the cowl. It's coming loose and it's cracking, so I'm gonna replace it. This piece is pretty pricey. I think last time I looked it was about 250 bucks. So this is the only decent wheel, and it also has some curbing. So again, I'm gonna have all four of them refinished. So as we come inside, the interior looks fantastic in my opinion. The problem is with the seat right here, it stops about here. That's about the range of motion for it. So I'm gonna attempt to remove it and see what's going on with it. If it is what I think it is, it may need a new seat, but I think we're okay here. I don't. My wife fits comfortably in here, so we don't need to do anything anytime soon. I don't think. Another little thing is this latch right here. So this whole box needs to be replaced. That's gonna cost a pretty penny. Shift knob is a little I may need to replace that, but the bigger thing is the steering wheel. It's in an awful shape, and it really ruins this interior, so I'm gonna have that rewrapped. And one last thing that's broken inside here is this ancient screen. I think it's called a CIC. It doesn't stay up and it doesn't turn on, so I'm gonna remove it and see what's up, but I have a suspicion that there's a little plastic gear that may be broken there, so we'll open it up and take a look. And actually I kind of lied. We also have a little issue here. This thing right here is dangling. So again, we're gonna take it apart and see if anything can be done. Alright, as we come around the back, it's a trunk. And it looks like all the tools and everything are in here. And even these rare bags, I don't know if you guys want them. I might sell them because I really am not gonna use these. The nice surprise that I found here is behind this. See, that's the convertible top pump. So, and I actually found in the records that it's been relocated from like right behind this area to the trunk. And but the benefit of that is that there's no chance of it getting flooded. So it should work for at least foreseeable future. Yep, I need new shocks for this. And this lid is heavy. As you can see, I already removed the panel. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna climb under the car and see what's going on there. And I won't be able to get great video of that because my lift doesn't allow for it. But I will say that I looked at it and it doesn't have anything really notable going on. It looks like the suspension bushings have been replaced because I didn't see any cracking. I think it does need new shocks just because of the age, but they're still original, so 158,000 miles, if you can believe that. So those are about due, but they aren't leaking. And I also noticed that the motor mounts are pancaked, so those are going to be replaced as well. All right, so I already checked the suspension, so you're gonna have to trust me on that. Everything looks tight, and I think actually at some point these front-end components have been replaced with original BMW parts. At least this control arm has. There's nothing torn. Brake pads are at about 50%. I know you can't really see here. Rotors are in good shape. Well, decent shape. When we come here, see there's some kind of a leak here. That's actually just water. So is this. And that is not water, that is oil. I'm gonna have to remove this panel to see what that's all about. Moving on. So the transmission does look like it has some oil caked on, and I suspect it's the oil that's blowing back from the engine. So I'm not sure if it's leaky valve cover or what else it may be. Going back here, looking at transmission mounts, they actually look pretty good just by visual inspection. I don't see any kind of cracking or anything of that sort. Let's keep going back here. This car must have come from the south because, or at the very least, it has not been driven in the winter because there is absolutely no rust here, which is always good. If you look at Guibo, trying to get some light in there. Let's see here. It's hard for me to show you, but oh, there we go. It does have some cracks, so that's definitely going on the list of things to change. It does look like they're just starting to form, but I don't know if you can see that here. Yeah, see that crack right there? It's a good idea to change it. All right, so here's our exhaust. Going back to the diff, and you can see this giant dent here on that shield. Uh, it's not really touching anything, so I don't think it's causing any issues. Plus, I'm not hearing any noises from here. I know it's not ideal view here, but the axles look good, and I'm not hearing any clicking. Suspension bushings, I haven't really tried to move these around, but there are no cracks on anything, and everything in the car feels super tight. So again, at 158,000 miles, I am sure some of the stuff has been replaced at least once in its lifetime. What has not been replaced are these shocks. They're way overdue. If you see, the manufacture date is October 13th, 2006. So these shocks are gonna have to be replaced. I'm surprised that they haven't been touched, because obviously the rest of the items uh, have been replaced. So overall, I'm pretty happy with the way this car looks underneath. Of course, there are some things that have to be replaced based on the mileage and everything, but overall, I think I did okay. We're just gonna have to remove the shield under the engine just to see where that oil leak is coming from. All right, thank you so much for watching, and I'm thrilled to have you along on this, to bring along this little project, and hopefully we'll have this thing fixed up by next summer.